My hair is different, my skin is different, my parents' story might be different. I look different, but I actually have to focus on the world as it applies to you, because that's the world that I am living in. I am the minority in this world. So now we're trying to get to a place where we can have a little bit more parity and say, actually, there's different journeys happening all simultaneously. So how do we respect all of these different journeys at the same time? Because they should all be equally respected.
Exactly. So you talked about your children and
Yeah.
how
I love those too.
Oh.
I think I talk about them too much. Just unfollow me.
How old are they?
They are 11 and 9, and they think it's funny because I'll always be like, what grade are you in? They're like, why can't you remember our grades? They're like, really? I'm like, no, really, what grade are you in? They're in grade 6 and grade 4.
Okay. And are they learning about Black history?
Oh, yes.
So they're telling you, they're teaching you?
Well, no, listen, there is a steady stream of Black consciousness happening in my house all of the time, because it is necessary and it is survival for them. We live in Riverdale. It's more diverse than most. There's families of different sexual orientation. There is some racial diversity, but I would say their school is predominantly white. And so they get confronted with race. It's my job to teach them so that when they're walking out there in the world, they might get hurt, but they're not shocked.
Right.
And they've thought about it. They've gone through the thought process and they understand why it's happening, and it's not because of anything they've done or who they are. It's that this is the society we live in.
Okay.
So yeah, we talk about things all the time, and we try and do it in an age-appropriate way.
Okay.
Because I can tell my daughter, they don't want too much of the bad too young. You like it's little bits and pieces.
Yeah,
and then if there's stuff on the TV, they listen to the radio every morning, they're hearing things.
Right.
I want them to be literate in what they're hearing. I want them to be able to read the media in the right way. I come from the media, I know all the tricks of the trade. I know that when there's a mugshot up and it's a Black man, we're gonna hear the full description, skin color included. And if it is not a Black man, we might not ever know the race.
Yeah.
So I want them to understand that, and I want them to know that this is kind of the construct they live within, and not to hold them back, but so that they can thrive despite it. Because that's how I was raised. My parents it's not like they focused that much on race, but they were very big on knowing who I was and just hitting those barriers and blowing past them. They're there, let's not pretend they're not there, but you're gonna work around them.
So the Black experience here in Canada is different than what we see on TV from the American media.
I would say, in some
we
ways.
have more of a melting pot here in Canada, but it still exists.
Yes.
So has there been any instance where you have been discriminated against in personal and professional life? And how did you deal with it? What happened?
The Canadian discrimination is polite like Canadians are. So it's a lot harder to put your finger on it. It's more covert. It is, it's not, and I always say, and I said this on the show when the episode aired yesterday, it's like, it's easy to look at the KKK or Donald Trump and say, racist, racist. But it's a lot harder to say, oh my gosh, my boss is showing unconscious bias. I can tell they're showing unconscious bias. I can feel it. I can feel it in the language. I can feel it in the tone, and I can't put my finger on it. So it's a lot harder to, I find, identify in Canada. But let me try and think of a situation. I mean, I've been through incredible hair wars working in the media.
Talk about hair.
That's discrimination. That's systemic. That's in there. I think everything from being called the N-bomb in elementary school to having a woman, as I was working in the McGill cafeteria when I was a student, just accusing me of everything, and it had to do with absolutely nothing but my race. She just had a problem with me sharing space with her.
Right. And it must not have been easy transitioning from Maryland to you.
Oh God, no, it wasn't. I think that First of all, we're Canada, we're sort of change resistant. Second of all, I'm a different race, I was in a different age demographic, I had twists in my hair, I had a young family, I come from the news, I was just like completely different. And I didn't read a lot of what people said about me because I felt that would be debilitating, like I knew that at the time. But once again, that positivity like always pushes through everything for me because I was so excited to have the job. I was like, say whatever you want, man, I got the job. Like, I'm here. So there were, and I said to myself, okay, I'm just gonna go in every day. I don't know the show. Because as I said, I was a news junkie. Like, I had no intention of doing lifestyle. I wasn't even gonna do TV. TV is a lot. Like the fake eyelashes, the eyebrows, the hair, TV is a lot. I was gonna do radio. Because I thought you can do that in your pajamas, right? But I ended up getting my internship in television. So that's sort of how the TV thing rolled. But I was not gonna do lifestyle. I had not watched Cityline. I knew Marilyn, loved her, respect. Any woman that has been in the broadcast industry for that long and stayed on top of the game, like, you get respect. Like, who knows what she has been through, right? What her walk has been like. So, knew Marilyn, loved her, didn't watch the show, and didn't know who any of the experts were, didn't understand the format of the show, still don't cook. I mean, 12 years later, was not really into decor, loved fashion, but that was about it.
Right.
So I'm like coming into this foreign television platform, I'm seeing the difference between people, how they see me as a reporter. As a reporter, you're supposed to pretend to be objective, because we all know no one's objective. But it's about the story, it's not about you. And then I moved to lifestyle, and all of a sudden people were like, well, who's your husband? What do you feed your kids for lunch? And what's your favorite lipstick? And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm part of the story now.
Yeah.
So I went in every day and I just said, I'm just gonna do the best I can today. But once again, I'm here. So I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna put my head down, and I'm just gonna do the job to the best of my ability. And I was very happy, and everyone around me was weird. Like, all the staff on the show, I remind them every once in a while, because a lot of them are still there. They were very weird. They didn't know what I was gonna be like. And, but I was just like the happy new kid in class. And the viewers were, a lot of them, some of them were happy, some of them were just livid. I will never watch again. I will never watch again. I can't believe you picked her. I got letters, and you pretty much knew the age of the people, like if you're writing a letter and sending snail mail.
And they get so invested.
Okay, Ethel. Okay. But that's okay. They would sometimes put their number at the bottom of the letters, and I would call them. A few of them I called. Wow. And I would say, hey, Bridget. Like, it's Tracy Moore, the new host of Cityline. Pause. Hi, Tracy. Hey, I got your letter, and I know I'm a work in progress, man. Like, I'm new at this. I'm working so hard at it, though, and I'm so excited to be a part of this. And I'm happy that you care, because that means you love the brand.
Right.
So come down to the show. Like, come watch the show. I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna get better. And they would be instant fans. Wow. They would come down, I would book them on the show, they'd come down to the show, they'd watch the show. The other thing I started doing when I started doing the show is this crazy thing. I took photos with the whole audience. I notice all the daytime shows are doing this now because of social media. But I was doing it before I was on Instagram or even Twitter, because I wanted people to understand that it was more than just slotting in, because they do this with women a lot. They just think they can just slot us in and we're not people and we're interchangeable and whatever. I wanted to connect with everybody that came in to watch the show. So we started doing pictures after every single show. And some of them were like, pictures? I don't have a camera with me. It's like, okay, when you come back, bring your camera or bring your phone and we'll take a picture. And I found that was somewhat disarming as well. That helped. It's like Taylor Swift going to malls. Like, you're meeting people on their level and saying, let's chat, let's have a talk. So I, on the one hand, ignored everybody. On the other hand, took a chosen few and would reach out to them. And then the rest of it, I mean, it was humiliating having to sit there and watch the tape of City Line with my supervising producer at the time and like just critique my performance. That's what we did every day after the show. It's a humbling experience.
At least it
was good.
Yeah,
it was good. It gets you better. You have to listen to your voice. Have you guys ever heard your voice in a clip?
Yeah.
And you listen to yourself and you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? But that's what I do, and I would listen to myself, and now I can listen to myself. I'm okay. I'm not freaked out by me.
I still can.
It's hard.
No, in the beginning, that's how I started. I was in videos for Sunwing, and to this day, I tell my team, don't play it.
You don't want to watch
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see
You'll
myself.
get used to it.
Cut it out.
You get used to it over time. Nice.
So, recently we've seen in the news that a lot of players, like there was a soccer player in Italy, Portugal. He just walked off the pitch because he was getting taunted by the fans.
The crowd, okay.
And then we have basketball players being told shut up and play basketball. And we have the bananas being thrown on the field, and we have
What game? What game? In basketball?
In soccer.
I actually didn't know that.
I'm
not surprised, but no.
Batali in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we hear about things that happen also in hockey, and you're a hockey mom.
Under duress. Under duress. This is not